You had a grand opening last week, I believe, Balsam Place, the
Yes.
final tiny home project up in the Sexsmith Road, Appaloosa area. How has how's it gone to populate that area? Is it fully populated now, or are we still working on that?
No, it's just starting at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So the new operator is in the process, and it's been a good process. On the first round, when we looked at Step Place, a lot of the individuals who took up residency at Step Place, the city was really not involved in the placement of those individuals. We were kind of on the outside. It was through BC Housing and it was through the service providers, and they looked at saying, well, these are the best individuals. And they came not only from Kelowna, but they came from around the area itself. When we looked at getting into Trailside, that was a 55 and older population. So again, there was placement where we weren't as involved. With Balsam Place, it is now a good collaboration of not only the service providers, not only bylaw, the city, the social development team, and then also BC Housing. So they've come together to look at populating that with individuals that will be positioned to take the greatest advantage of that and then move themselves on to some other better supportive housing or care facility. And we've seen that success with Step Place and Trailside. We initially populated those two residences with 120 individuals. In that period of a year, we have had 62 individuals who have transitioned out of that 120 and have looked at either establishing themselves in supportive housing, have now obtained some element of employment. Some of them have found a way back home to where they, out of from this community. Other individuals have now engaged more with interior health for more mental health and addictions type of treatment. And then that has provided room for another 60 individuals. So when we're looking at having this process continue all the way through, Balsam Place will provide us 180 of those homes available within the community, and now the communication that happens between the RCMP, between bylaw, between the service providers, between BC Housing, they're all the social development team within the city here. They're all communicating on the same, understanding what part of the goal is to try to advance. And we'll still miss things, and there'll still be individuals who don't want to be part of whatever structure we're going to put up, and still decide that they would prefer to live outside or live on the street or something. And again, that goes to free will. I mean, we can't control that element. What we can do is provide an option. A serious option to create a better lifestyle for individuals, while at the same time working on trying to, protect the community and safely protect the community.
When it comes to populating a place like that, it sounds like you're looking for them, or you're going to them to find the right fit, as opposed to people applying to come in. Is that the way it's structured?
Well, the area of individuals who potentially live on our streets, or individuals who are homeless, or individuals who are in shelters right now and looking at going from shelters into tiny homes. For the service providers, for the bylaw, for the RCMP, for the teams that work with it, it's a fairly small world.
Yes.
They are aware of the individuals who need that kind of, helping hand to move along and to get to a better place. And that's what they're trying to do. There's a certain element of individuals who have addictions or have mental health issues that, the help is needed beyond what these services are going to be able to provide. We need interior health. We need more compassionate, mandatory type of care. There's something else beyond. So it's going to be very difficult for these individuals to be able to kind of be successful in these type of facilities. And also that's why, we have seen minimal calls associated from bylaw and RCMP into either Step Place or or Trailside, and would assume the same as we go into Balsam, because what they're doing is they're taking individuals, trying to find a way to advance them And there's simple little keys to it, and one of the ones that I think is substantial is there's the ability to get a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
You're able to kind of close that door and have a good night's sleep, and now starts to heal. And at the same time, a mailing address. So if you're going to go out and sense, well, I'd like to look at some elements of employment, or I'd like to apply for supportive housing to the province, or I'd like to do that, there's a mailing address. So there's something. So it's there's a couple of small items, but the service providers are working hard. I think out of Step Place and Trailside, even though with those who advanced, they track all of the little accomplishments, applied for a job, spoke to family, whatever it happens to be, and in between those, I think there's they have it at 300 or more, just simple little accomplishments for all those individuals who are within those facilities.
I know you'd like to expand this program. You'd like to see it expand to Lake Country, to Vernon, Penticton, West Kelowna, etc. Have you had those conversations?
Yes, I've been very, very open with those discussions with the mayors of the other communities. Have always been that, as a city of Kelowna, we definitely want to do our part. Mm-hmm. But it's also neighboring communities, and I think it's something that's being seen right now in Penticton, for example. I believe they're looking at something as a consideration. Up in Vernon, I know Victor is, open discussions. Blair has had discussions about it. So it is something that is coming to communities, and as we see with the majority of items that we look at maintaining or acquiring, is costs do not decrease.
Yep.
The city in each of the three particular sites right now put in a capital allocation of land, which was roughly somewhere around $2 million per land. Through the Heart and Hearth funding, the province comes in and looks at us covering the cost of the tiny homes, covering and then assisting with regards to the operational costs. So those are the big items that come into play. It's the land is one particular type of thing, but the operational costs, when you look at establishing what it costs to maintain those services for those individuals and the upkeep of everything, that's a major item that would be too taxing upon the city in order to be able to kind of look at covering off that cost.
Of course. Mayor Tom Dyas, thanks as always.
Thank you.